It's midnight, so I feel like I should tell y'all a spooky story about when a neighbor of my mom's in Haiti tried to put a voodoo curse on her when she was a baby so that she could, you know what I'm saying? I hope you don't mind. Let's get into it. So basically, my grandmother had her first child at 18. She was a teen mom. They were in Haiti at the time, my grandmother and my grandfather, and then they had my mom. My mom is the eldest of 4 children. So one day, my mom just stopped pooping. Like, she was a baby, and she just stopped pooping. She wouldn't poop, and y'all know when you don't poop, you'll die. So my grandmother, she's freaking out. My grandfather's like, what's going on? What's happening? They keep taking her to the doctor, and the doctor's like, there's nothing medically wrong with her at this point. I feel like it's spiritual. So they bring my mom actually to what she called, when she told the story, the medicine man, I guess like a shaman or whatever. And he sends my grandfather out on well, first he asked, do you have a lot of like family over the house? And they're like, not really. He's like, well, do neighbors come in and out? And she's like, well, yeah, we do have neighbors, and specifically this neighbor down the street. And she's constantly like asking if like she can do something and like help with the baby. And my grandmother thought she was just trying to be nice. He's like, something isn't right. Go look around her house. So my grandfather and my grandmother went over the house, and my grandmother said that she was going to go to the bathroom. They're at the neighbor's house. I don't think I specified that, but she said she's going to go to the bathroom, and she's just kind of searching around the lady's house. Whole time she gonna find my mom's little shoe under this lady's bed with a voodoo charm in it. So she takes it, and they go back to the medicine man, and they tell him that this is what happened. He's like, okay. He sends my grandfather out to buy like a whole bunch of little things. My mom said that he couldn't remember exactly what it was, but one of them was razor blades, and then the other one was a baby turtle. So they brought my mom back and the baby turtle, and they did this whole like, oh my gosh, I forgot the craziest part of the story. When my grandfather's out looking for the stuff, there was this lady that came up to him and went and blew this like white substance. I think that's called throwing root. She blew this white substance on him, and it hit his leg, and his leg immediately started just like blistering up like crazy. So anyway, going back to what I was saying, he did end up getting the stuff. They do the whatever they do, and the medicine man tells them, throw the baby turtle and my mom, when she's a baby, up into the air. And if I was my grandmother, I'd be like, throw who? What? But they were willing to try anything at that point. They threw them up, or them both up at the same time. He said, let the baby turtle drop. The baby turtle dropped to its death, and then they caught my mom. And as soon as she touched the hands of like my grandfather, she just pooped. Like, she just pooped everywhere. And that's how she was, she got better. Now, me personally, baby, I would have went to Jesus. Me personally. But hey, that's what happened. And she's my mom. She's still here. But yeah, y'all, it was absolutely crazy. And my grandmother also said that after that happened, she actually would hear like really creepy stuff in the house, and she would call it zombie. Like on the top of the house, it would be like a creature's up there, like just like and like footsteps, and the footsteps would get louder and faster on top of the house. And after all that stuff, they decided like, we're moving to America, and they came here. But yeah, as always, y'all, make sure you like and follow and comment down below if you guys have any stories, anything kind of like this. Because of Sauce 90's videos, I am convinced that sirens exist. I was already convinced before, but now I'm double, triple, quadruple convinced. There is no way that did y'all see the video where it's like literally he was in his ship or his boat, whatever, in the middle of the night, and it was literally 2 fast creatures swimming next to the ship? What? Tell me, what, y'all gonna say it's a dolphin? What could that possibly be? I don't understand. And my thing is, why don't people believe that sirens exist? I just don't understand. Why is that such a far off thought? In fact, let's talk about something real quick. So did y'all remember when that was like a whole thing where everyone was talking about how the elites actually eat TikTok? This is for entertainment purposes only. None of it's true. But the elites actually believe in mermaids, and they catch them, people with like mad money. They have them caught and either brought to laboratories to study, or they have them caught and served up as like a delicacy. Y'all, there's a lady on here when she goes into like mad detail about an anonymous follower of hers that said that he was a crewman that went to go, he didn't know that was the case, like they were catching mermaids, but he signed an NDA where he couldn't publicly disclose this and mention his identity. So he basically signed up with a company to catch big fish, and they go out, and their first big fish was literally a freaking mermaid. And the first siren that they caught was very docile, and they served her up you know what, they gave her to wherever she needed to go. The second one they caught was a fighter, right? So she's thrashing around, like she's not going down without a fight. She ends up messing around and like doing something with her hand, like scratching the glass or something, and her fingers had got chopped off. And he hears the boss calls and like, hey, you know, she's damaged goods at this point, she's not fully intact. And he's like, nah, I don't want her. So they bring her to that laboratory, and he mentioned that her hand, by the time it got there, one of her fingers actually regenerated itself, like their limbs grow back like a starfish. Do starfish do that? I'm pretty sure. But I'm like, wait, that's so crazy. And he said that when they delivered the siren into that laboratory, when the doors opened, there was so many marine creatures that he was like, what the heck? His brain couldn't even process how to describe it when he was sending her that email. And I'm like, yo, like that makes perfect sense to me. Maybe I'm a psycho. Y'all know when I have my big bonnet on, I do a lot of thinking. But maybe I'm crazy, because that makes a lot of sense. I think that they have found way more things than they say that they found. And this is not like some far off thing. Y'all remember that Mexican actor Cantinflas? He had a whole house he built for mermaids, like for sirens to come. And it said that he had like a whole siren girlfriend or whatever, and they would come. He attached his pool to the ocean so that they could come in the, like in the AMs. Y'all, it's some crazy stuff. It's some really, really crazy stuff. Anyway, y'all. Anyway, as always, make sure you like and follow and comment down below if we should keep this series going. 25 men got on a ship one night. Not a single one of them came home that night. No signs of struggle, no bodies, just gone. 1955, a merchant boat called the MV Joyita left Samoa, and they were headed towards the Tokelau Islands. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The weather wasn't extreme, everything was set up correctly, normal transport mission, but weeks later, the MV Joyita was found in the middle of the Pacific, floating, abandoned. But here's where it gets unsettling, okay? There was no signs of panic, no signs of distress, no blood, no bodies. The belongings were where they were supposed to be. Nothing was stolen. Everything was as it was supposed to be, but no one was there. There was even still fuel in the boat. And it was almost like they walked off of the boat, like mid-journey. They just walked into the ocean because there was no sign of struggles. They were like pirates, maybe, shark. How could sharks just eat all these 25 men? And if there were pirates, there would be blood, there would be bodies. Nothing, y'all. You're telling me you find a ship completely abandoned, there's no bodies, all of the crew were men in the middle of the Pacific. Mind you, almost every culture around the Pacific says that that ocean is riddled with sirens, and that they lure sailors off of their ships with their song in the middle of their journeys and leave them without a trace. Still to this day, nobody can explain what happened to the 25 men of MV Joyita. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I think that they were taken by sirens. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Y'all can't tell me that so much of the ocean is undiscovered. We're over here hearing big, loud, clanging noises at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. If you don't know about the Mariana Trench, you haven't been scared, because that makes me not even want to dip my big toe in the nearest pool anymore, okay? So we got the bloop, we got the random ocean fire, all these crazy things going on in the ocean, right? And you're telling me you don't believe that sirens could have taken those men? And also, all men. And there's traces of them walking off the ship. Why would they walk off the ship? It's almost like they were silently removed. It's almost like there was no fear, no distress. It's really giving the siren song was sang and they walked off the ship. Y'all seen Sauce 90. I know y'all seen Sauce 90. That fisherman that goes out into the ocean and he recorded siren songs that he heard. And no, don't try to tell me those were whales. Those were not whales. And there's even like sightings on his video. People have slowed it down and screenshotted and seen a woman's head in the water. And there's even rumors that certain people tried to confiscate his boat when his video started going viral. But I'm not going to say nothing because TikTok likes to tussle with me with conspiracy. But y'all, I don't know. Nobody can explain it, and that's the only thing that makes sense to me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, because y'all know I love to yap. And don't forget to like and follow.